Hey y'all! Happy National Kids Takeover the Kitchen Day! Today, as the littlest ones stake their claim in the hottest hotspot in the whole house, the thrift store rundown will be taking over your school's cafeteria over the next several days as we help kids grow confidence in cooking with pop culture, safely, stylishly, and frugally, of course, on a budget. Now I concede Paula Deen might not be the most ideal of colorful culinary aficionados to kick off this series, but hey, this is for the kids, so best to take one for the little league team, alright? First up, we have her first cookbook. Now, this is not the first cookbook she ever published in her whole career. It's just the name of her first children's cookbook. Paula, you might want to come up with a more specific title the next time you're going to venture into children's literature, no matter what its purpose. Nevertheless, this was purchased for 25% off the sticker price of $2.49. Followed up by her cookbook for the Lunchbox set, affordable recipes for every budget. This was purchased for $1.99 and paid in full. Both retail for $21.99 in the US, and in Canada, this retails for $24.99, and this $2 difference upward, $26.99 for our northern neighbors. Both are published by Simon & Schuster, both co-authored by Martha Nesbitt, and both complete with Susan Mitchell's colorful illustrations in lieu of any recipe photographs. There are none whatsoever, but as you'll see, Susan Mitchell's illustrations more to make up for that. So let's check out Paula Deen's first kids cookbook. Now, before we get to all the fun recipes, as you know, when kids are helping out in the kitchen, there's a lot of safety information to be aware of, and all that's covered here in Safety First. At the end of each review, I will reiterate some of the important safety info to learn, as well as recap some of the educational benefits. You might be surprised how much kids are learning, rather than just simply following instructions in a recipe. We have here a helpful glossary of kitchen terms like bake, grate, knead, whip, stir, peel, roll out, and saute, among others. This is a section on how to measure, which also helps build important mathematics skills. Now, I think this might be a little bit overkill, but hey, it can also be a fun component in kids helping out setting for the family meal. How to set a table. Now, your guidelines for setting a family dinner table might differ from Paula's, but this will give you a good head start. And if that's not enough, we have a section all about good manners. Just like there are rules in the kitchen, there are also rules at the table when you're eating. And they're basically no elbows on the table, napkin in your lap, no talking with your mouth full, make sure you compliment the cook, and ask to be excused if you need to be excused. We all know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so, appropriately, we kick off this review and this series with Chapter 1. Morning sunshine, from pancakes to monkey bread. Now I know, it kind of defeats the purpose for this particular segment for every video here to be published at noon Eastern Standard Time, the standard lunch hour. But you know what? Second breakfast doesn't just apply to the AM crowd, in my opinion anyway. So here we have pancakes, what you'll need, all drawn out in colorful illustrations, with succinct captions and labels for each of the illustrations. That's the work of Susan Mitchell, Paula Deen, and Martha Nesbitt once again. And what you gotta do. Some of the steps might require adult supervision or assistance. You'll know which. They involve anything hot or anything sharp. We also have bullseye, many names for this, an egg in the center of a piece of bread, a piece of toast, like egg in the hole. If you have any other names for this, let me know. Green eggs and ham, of course, a Dr. Seuss perennial favorite. Perfect for St. Patrick's Day or for Read Across America Day, like we used to do in school too, when the Cat in a Hat came to visit. Cheese eggs with onions and ham, a Mexican omelet, if you want to add a little fiesta-like flair to your breakfast. French toast, that is a staple in this house. It's a favorite of mine for sure. Cheese toast, haven't tried that. Definitely want to consider that. cinnamon rolls. Yes, cinnamon rolls are not just for dessert anymore. Fruit kebabs, which can also pass as an awesome lunchtime snack or after-school snack. And finally, monkey bread. Next up, I'm starving. This is the proper after-school snacks chapter here, chapter 4. These are good snacks for after school, after supper, or on long Saturday afternoons. Now, I did say there are no recipe photographs in here, but you know what? There are plenty of photographs of Paula in her prime in the days of her youth. We have here apples with homemade peanut butter, all the way down to frozen bananas. Cheese on a log, honey butter with homemade bread, s'mores, a campfire classic. You can make it indoors or outdoors, however you prefer. Homemade pretzels with salt or cinnamon, ants on a log, olive pinwheels, peanut butter balls, gelatin blocks, nuts and bolts. Car trips, field trips, picnics and parties. This is one great snack. And despite the title, look at the ingredients here. It is completely edible. Donuts, fruit turnovers, and yogurt pops, and frozen bananas. Now, as you're seeing here, plenty of colorful illustrations by Susan Mitchell that definitely would fit any children's classic book. There are other chapters in here that you'll definitely want to be aware of. For any time any child gets young and hungry. We're talking about lunches, dinners, birthday treats, cooking for mom and dad, holiday treats, special drinks for all year round, and arts and crafts projects that do require some essential pantry staple ingredients, but for the most part are inedible. Hey, don't eat these. These are just fun to have around and play around with. So there really is something for everyone here, even for the most finicky eaters. When Paula Deen's cooking, or at least when Paula Deen's inspiring you to cook, you know you're in for something good. And because it's Paula Deen, the Southern hospitality in this and the next cookbook definitely abounds in here. One of America's most beloved cooks, food network personality, and restaurateur Paula Deen invites you to share her favorite dishes and memories from childhood in this delightful cookbook for the very young. Now we're moving on to the Lunchbox set. But before I do, if I had to classify these by grades, this is for the elementary school crowd, and the Lunchbox set is definitely for the middle school crowd. But the recipes in here should definitely appeal to anyone, even the most finicky, picky eaters. This is definitely way more fun in terms of the chapters in here as well, because they're divided into regular school events, like the bake sale, a cookie night, a cookie party for Christmas, a picnic menu. I should say not just school events, I mean a school event like the bake sale, which I will show you momentarily, but events centered around the back-to-school season, during and after it as well. We're going to highlight the bake sale and the sleepover. Oh, and the cookie tips, safety info, cookie Tums glossary. Pretty much more of the same in here with the first cookbook. They're carried over from there into here, okay? As far as the table manners go, well, they're exchanged for manners per each recipe category. Whether you're making muffins, or having a bake sale, or having a sleepover, or cooking for Christmas, you'll find manners per each recipe section in here. And they're easy to follow, and you can feel pretty comfortable with them. So here we are, Chapter 2, the bake sale. Peanut butter cookies, chocolate chip, chocolate-covered pretzels, brownies, strawberry cake with strawberry icing, pumpkin roll with cream cheese icing, chocolate chip cake, German chocolate pies, and cupcakes. Plus, lots of fun tips and suggestions, all helpful, all practical, all easy to follow if you want to hold a bake sale yourself. Those bake sales. The bake sale suggestions in here should definitely rival those at the PTA. Sorry if you're among those who do actually work for the PTA or attend their meetings. It's just a suggestion. Now, the instructions in here and in the first cookbook are as easy, succinct, and fun to follow as they are delightful to look at. Well, delightful in terms of the components for the recipes, the equipment, and the ingredients you need. Again, you see all these colorful icons here, along with the succinct labels for them. They're definitely a delight to look at and easy to understand. For the sleepover, basic cheese fondue, chocolate dessert fondue, peanut butter balls, sweet and sour sausages, morning yogurt smoothie, ham strata, and breakfast cheesecake, because as you know, a sleepover is not complete without a fun breakfast the next day, provided they are still awake so that they can eat breakfast, or not too tired. And yes, there are some matters to be aware of when handling fondue. For one, never place the skewer in your mouth. Put it right back on the plate when you're done. For one, the prawns of the skewer can poke your mouth, and two, it can be hot once you dip it into the hot liquid. Chocolate, cheese, whatever it may be. And please, for safety's sake, none of this with your small metal skewers. As the old saying goes, you can poke someone's eye out. Or worse. So once again, those are the fondues alongside the peanut butter balls, the sweet and sour sausages, the morning yogurt smoothie, the ham strata, and the breakfast cheesecake. This, the strata, and the smoothie are definitely good morning after remedies. And trust me, children's morning afters after sleepovers are nothing like the morning afters after adult sleepovers, if you know what I mean. Now, Paula Deen is not the ideal choice for a children's cookbook for a myriad of reasons, but you know what? I think she, Martha, and Susan, all three of them, a holy trifecta to come up with a cookbook that I think will appeal to everyone, young and young at heart. You don't get nutritional information for each recipe in here, but perhaps it's for the best. Pool party, bake sale, lunchbox treat. Paula Deen has a recipe for every special occasion. Every school occasion, every holiday occasion. You'll find it in these two cookbooks. And while there's no nutritional info or recipe photographs in here, the one thing that does stand out for the first cookbook is the acknowledgement of Paula's littlest fans in her opening letter here. I had no idea when I started cooking on television that some of my biggest admirers would be tiny tots, the smallest ones. But everywhere I go, mamas and daddies, grandmothers and grandfathers, aunts and uncles tell me that their children are glued to the tube when I'm on the air. Thank you for that. They're both equally excellent, and I rate them both, because of the lack of nutritional info, 4.5 out of 5 claps. I think it's kind of pertinent that children's cookbooks have some nutritional stats per each recipe so that you know exactly what you're feeding your kids and what they're making. Because, you know, if kids are not getting enough healthy recipes in their diet, fruits and veggies, lean meats, fish, protein, whatever, and they're getting way too much sugar and carbs and all that, well, we could have a much bigger problem than the coronavirus. Childhood obesity is still not irrelevant, folks. It might be getting us attention to COVID-19, but it's not irrelevant. Never than that, these are two terrific books that guarantee one surefire way to send love and best wishes in the hopes of best grades from this house to yours and beyond. Thanks for watching, and parents, here's hoping your cookies don't crumble this back-to-school season. I'll catch you on the flip side.
Making dinner. It's so routine you could probably do it with your eyes closed. But sometimes we forget that it took years of watching an adult we knew make dinner, years of learning how to measure and how to taste before we were able to get that job right. Kids love to help with grown-up activities, and when you let them help out, that routine can add a sense of calm or regularity to their day. Now, it may not seem like a big deal, But when you show your child different sizes of measuring cups and spoons, they're learning basic concepts like bigger and smaller. And by measuring ingredients, they're even doing a little math. The more the child you care for can work with their hands, the more they develop motor skills and walk away with a good feeling because they helped you out.